Great journey start at the North Jacklin Motor Group. A lot of things have changed over 60 years, but one thing has definitely stayed the same. The North Jacklin Motor Group is one of our region's proudest motoring icons. Flying the flag locally for Nissan, Subaru, Honda, Mitsubishi, Mercedes-Benz and Suzuki. Great journey start at the North Jacklin Motor Group. Part of our community, part of our lives and part of our future. The North Jacklin Motor Group, proudly celebrating 60 years.
Well, my name is North Jacklin. Correct name is John North Jacklin. Never been called John in my life, so I've always adopted North. We started this business in 1961 and it was known as BMC, which stood for British Motor Corporation, and that was Austin and Morris to most people who would understand that. I was always an Austin man. Then all of a sudden I knew I was going to lose the franchise sooner or later because they were going to make it one town, one dealer, and I had very little to offer at that particular stage of the game. So I knew we had to find something else in a hurry, and it was offered to me by a chap from Townsville, was a representative for Ira Burke, which was the Nissan franchise for the whole of Queensland. They came up and made me an offer. I thought it was too good to miss, and I wasn't completely 100% confident of what the product was all about. However, we were selling both Austins and Datsuns together for a short period of time, probably just getting rid of the last of the Austins, and we ended up, as people came back for their 500-mile free service, we found that we were getting probably 2 fills caps full of not complaints but queries about the Austin Morris, compared with nothing bar I want a 500-mile service with a Datsun product. So as a result of it, it wasn't long to be in the game and then find how much it was a better class of car.
There's a pinpoint here that it was our dealer principal, Mr. North Jacklin, who made this company grow with the policies and procedures that he had in place. He loved customer service, he loved people, he employed people who loved giving customer service.
We were determined to serve our customer best. If that is given to the people, you've got everything going your way.
Whenever you meet someone, you've got 8 seconds to make a first impression. And the bottom line is that the person will never ever really truly know the person that they're dealing with, but they make a judgment based on their perception. Because we have genuine people, they easily liked, I suppose, and then that makes the next process easy. The customer becomes comfortable, okay, that they trust us to look after their motoring needs.
So people like dealing with people they liked and people they knew. And that was a big thing. It's just people come in and just want to ask for myself or anybody that was long serving, which was just tremendous. It really was.
Not a lot's changed from the days of Frankie and going through all of our prospects and looking up and just following up people and doing all those sort of things. And I think it's sort of has flowed on through North's ownership through to ours. The people like the Franks and that have instilled those processes that are very important. Just to if you can do the processes right, then you'll be successful in the end. So
give customer service. That's what. And look, people bought cars from me for a long time. It wasn't necessarily that they liked Frank Caruana. Partly they did, but we offered good service, and in our service department, and that was critical to people coming back buying cars from us.
I've purchased 9 vehicles so far from North Jacklin, and the first one being December 1977. I actually paid $4,650. I bought it from Frank Caruana. He was a salesperson at the time.
They were good value for money, and they couldn't destroy them. they got better and better and better until the Datsun 1600 came out, and it was the greatest car that was sold.
Nissan Pulsars of the early 90s and the 2000s, they were just a great little car. We sold more Pulsars in Mackay than any other dealer in Queensland.
When we first came to town, the whole business revolved around sugarcane and cattle. It was a very prosperous business and a very prosperous town. But we were there right on the cusp of mining coming into the town, and so we've sort of ridden the backbone of that. We're very much oriented around the 4x4 market in this region.
People these days ask me, come to me and say, Frank, want to buy a car, what will I buy? I'm going, well, I've got Nissan in my blood, so, you know, what do you want me to tell you, you know?
I really enjoy getting into a patrol wagon. You don't feel like you're driving a big vehicle, and it's just, there's plenty of room in it. It's massive amount of room inside, and it's just an absolute pleasure to drive.
I was nearly always a patrol man, but the real favourite of the lot was Maxima. I could never go beyond them.
We've got a lot of repeat business, and we treat people just more like mates or friends rather than customers, and it's sort of it's just a different vibe within the dealership.
I think the people that liked the brand that North was selling, they just loved it, and they kept coming back because they felt that they were getting honesty from the dealership.
I can remember back probably 15 years, I decided to change make of vehicle. So I walked into Nissan. From that day on, I was so impressed with the patrol, I just wouldn't buy anything else. Never had a problem.
Since the 1960s, we've had over 20 vehicles between my dad's family and my family. I've had vehicles like my first car was like a Nissan Pulsar, and now currently driving a Pathfinder. Every single car that I've owned has come from North Jacklin, and they're just a part of my life.
We've tried to expand throughout, or tried to always increase what we're doing and try to get better and better over the years. So we've got a lot of happy customers that came to us when we took on the Carlisle franchise to say, hey, this is great, now I can buy more than just a Nissan and Subaru, I can look at Mitsubishis and I look at Hondas because I only want to deal with you guys. So it's great to get that sort of feedback.
The fondest memories of the dealership are the people. There's so many people that you come into contact with over the last 21 years. It's just, unfortunately, it's just sort of, you can't remember them all, but that's the joy of this industry. I mean, we have really nice people in our business. We try and be an employer of choice, and so we end up with really good people.
For me, I think it's the people involved in the dealership. It's the long-term staff. We've got a lot of good people in good positions that have been there for a long period of time. If you can get that consistency throughout the business, I think it just it pays dividends in the end. And for us, we've always been big on looking after the people that work for us, and that's obviously created a culture that sort of has kept people around.
So I've made a lot of friendships with different people and the bosses and all that.
The fun and the friendship of the staff and your mates was just out of this world. The games we played with each other, the enjoyment and fun that I got out of it, and these people still treat me as family, so that's what I loved.
It's always been here. I can't remember North Jacklin not being here. The friendliness was always there, and you just haven't lost it.
The after-sale service was phenomenal and still is up until today.
Just to drop the vehicle off, everything's too easy, everything's explained well. It's the after-service care. I mean, fantastic purchasing a vehicle, but it's the back of house, it's the service department that actually come through and you get to see every year in regards to servicing your vehicle.
Nothing's a problem. It's you go in there and everybody treats you well, and it's always been here. It's part of Mackay.
And the company put money back into the community in lots of ways with sponsorships. I mean, the sponsorships we had were just unbelievable.
We've always been community minded. North had been, we've carried that on, and I think that's probably that we give back to the community.
Mackay is a place where, I think that community support is crucial for, clubs and organisations to have success, and I know that for Mackay Basketball we wouldn't have probably had the success that we've had over the years, without that support from North Jacklin.
People, I think, understand that we do give a lot back to the community, and that sort of helps us get more people through the door, I guess.
It feels as though you're walking into a family, you're just visiting family. Even though North Jacklin's grown massively over the years, they haven't lost that family feel.
It was such a friendly, family-orientated place to work for. We had lots of fun with functions that we'd have involving all the staff and families.
Through our customers, they were the ones that kept the whole thing going. So I feel that it's a big thank you to our purchasers of Nissan products.
At the end of the day, it's not about a one-off transaction. It's never about that. It's about a lifelong transactions, customers for life.
The internet's changed everything a lot for us, and we're very conscious now and of you've got to be price conscious and you've got to be competitive and you've also got to be at a level of customer service because it's everything's out there now. The information is so easy to get.
Where we've sort of been able to be a cut above the rest is that we're not in a perfect world, so it doesn't always go to plan. But when it does turn upside down, then our people they're very customer centric. They're empowered and they do what they need to do to make sure that it's resolved.
We stuck to our core values. That was important. And people are more savvy, so the salesman has to be just that one step ahead.
Our industry is ever changing. It's ever evolving, and one of the things that we need to do to stay up with the game is to change with it. There are going to be a massive number of changes moving forward, but I'm just overly confident that our people will have the right attitude and be able to adapt with it and continue our success.